Ebony Maw versus Vecna, who would win? In a collision where reality itself bends under the weight of dark intelligence and impossible psychic force, two of the most terrifying manipulators across fiction are pulled into a battle that defies space, time, and sanity. On one side stands Ebony Maw, the whispered prophet of Thanos, a man who never raises his voice because he never needs to. His power is not brute strength, but absolute mastery over matter through telekinesis so precise and overwhelming that he can turn cities into floating sculptures of ruin without lifting a finger. He believes in order, devotion, and inevitability, speaking like a man who already knows the ending of every story before it begins. On the other side stands Vecna, once Henry Creel, now something far beyond human, a consciousness fused with the upside down, feeding on trauma, fear, and fractured minds. He does not simply kill his victims. He dismantles them psychologically first, dragging them into a psychic dimension where reality becomes a hallucination shaped by guilt and pain. Where Maw is control through intellect and will, Vecna is control through invasion of the mind itself, a predator living inside perception. The battle begins in a fractured convergence of realities, as if the universe itself cannot decide which laws should apply. Ebony Maw arrives first, standing calmly amid drifting debris, his robes flowing as though gravity bends around him. He senses it instantly, not matter, but thought. Something here is thinking back at him without speaking. Vecna does not initially appear in a physical sense. Instead, the air grows heavier, memories begin to distort, and reality feels like it is peeling away like soaked paper. Then, from a collapsing tier between dimensions, Vecna emerges, towering, skeletal, wrapped in vines and psychic corruption, his presence pressing directly into the mind before the eyes fully register him. Maw speaks first. His voice carries calm authority, like a sermon already written in fate. Around him, rubble rises and reshapes into orbiting formations of stone and metal. The environment obeys instantly. It is not just telekinesis, it is absolute command over motion and structure within his reach. But Vecna does not respond like a physical opponent. He responds like an infection. He reaches into Maw's mind. For the first time, Maw pauses, not because he is harmed, but because something has entered his perception. The upside down seeps into his thoughts, distorting memories he never lived. He sees imagined failures, doubt from Thanos, silence where obedience once existed. Vecna does not speak aloud. His voice arrives as pressure behind the eyes, as though thought itself has turned hostile. Maw immediately counters, sealing his mind with disciplined precision, compressing the intrusion into controlled silence. Reality stabilizes again as his will reasserts dominance over both matter and perception. Then Maw retaliates. A shockwave of telekinetic force erupts outward, not an explosion, but a precise rewriting of space itself. The environment folds inward like collapsing paper, compressing toward Vecna with unstoppable force. Stone becomes dust suspended in stillness. The sheer precision of Maw's power demonstrates why even gods obey his master. Vecna's physical form is struck, torn, and thrown backward into the corrupted terrain of the upside-down, bleeding into reality. But Vecna smiles. Pain is irrelevant. It only fuels him. The battlefield shifts, not because Maw allows it, but because Vecna infects it. Suddenly, Maw is no longer in a controlled environment. He is inside memory itself. The ground reflects fragments of obedience, doubt, and inevitability. Vecna drags him into a psychological overlap where control of matter matters less than control of perception. Maw realizes the truth. He is no longer fighting an enemy. He is fighting reality as it is being rewritten through thought. Maw expands his telekinetic field to its limit. Entire structures rise into the air, forming a controlled dome of gravitational distortion. For a brief moment, Vecna is pushed back, his influence destabilized under pure physical dominance. But Vecna adapts. He stops attacking the mind directly and begins corrupting the space between thoughts. The upside down spreads like an idea rather than a place. Maw begins to notice inconsistencies, objects moving slightly outside his control, structure failing for fractions of a second. Small errors, But for someone like Ebony Maw, even small errors are cracks in absolute authority. Vecna senses it immediately and deepens the assault. The battlefield becomes a hybrid nightmare of collapsing cities and shifting shadows. Maw sees himself stripped of control, kneeling before forces beyond Thanos. Vecna does not need to overpower him quickly, only to erode certainty. Doubt becomes the weapon. For the first time, Maw's certainty wavers. And that becomes the turning point, because Maw understands something crucial. Vecna does not just use fear, he becomes it. But Maw is not ruled by fear. He is ruled by conviction. And conviction, when perfected, becomes a weapon stronger than doubt itself. Maw stops resisting in the traditional sense. Instead, he restructures his own consciousness the way he restructures matter. Thoughts become objects. Doubt becomes pressure. Fear becomes something to be compressed and sealed. His telekinetic dominance begins extending inward, applying external control to his own mind. The clash becomes unprecedented. Vecna pushes deeper, attempting to fully drag Maw into the psychic dimension where physical law collapses entirely. Maw responds by anchoring his neural existence through raw telekinetic stabilization. It becomes a war over identity itself, two realities fighting for dominance over a single mind. Reality fractures. Maw unleashes everything. A singularity of controlled force forms, compressing the battlefield into a collapsing sphere of absolute telekinetic pressure. Vecna's physical form is torn apart as both matter and psychic structure are crushed simultaneously. Even the upside down flickers under the pressure. But Vecna does something unexpected. He lets go of form entirely. Instead of resisting, he disperses into pure psychic influence. Maw's attack collapses nothing tangible anymore, because there is nothing left to strike. Vecna now exists everywhere within the overlap, whispering through perception itself, attempting a final overwrite of Maw's mind. But Maw reaches peak control. He shuts down perception channels entirely, isolating his consciousness into pure command. No fear. No interpretación. Only structure and will. The stalemate breaks. Maw reasserts dominance over physical reality, forcibly stabilizing space itself. The psychic overlap collapses under enforced order. Vecna's influence is expelled, unable to maintain cohesion against absolute external control. The upside down recedes like a dying echo. In the end, Ebony Maw stands alone as reality reconstructs itself under his will. Vecna's presence lingers only as a fading distortion in perception, unable to fully manifest where matter obeys absolute command. Final result: Ebony Maw wins. His superior real space control, precision telekinesis, and ability to enforce stability on reality itself ultimately overcome Vecna's overwhelming psychic and dimensional influence, which dominates minds but fails against absolute physical and spatial authority when fully asserted.